And we are back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Aurora Cup. And I have the casters now with me on the desk. We're going to do a switcheroo as I welcome J Real and Salati again to the desk. Welcome. How are you doing? Because I haven't talked with you guys. How are you doing, J Real?
I'm blessed, man. We had some great games to kick it off. I'm feeling good. It's been a nice temperature day. It's not been too cold either. But these games, they're heating things up. We saw Veneer, who were expected to be real favourites in this group, not necessarily perform as well as they did. Plus 5, the underdog story here, rising up, starting to make things happen. And obviously, Nativz looking in form.
So that means the team that was supposed to be in first place is currently on the last place with 2 defeats. Salati, is this a bloodshed?
Yes,
A bloodbath?
absolutely. It's just like I like it.
Okay, so welcome to the desk. We should talk a little bit more about that specific game before we jump into the next one, which is going to be Nativz versus Domino Esports, Division 1 now versus Division 2. So, on that one, let's talk about the value of the most outrageous man on earth. Tarek, what do you feel about that one? I think it was a great pick in the way they used it as well.
Yeah,
J
no, I
Real,
think
hit
that
me.
there's a lot of pressure that you can apply with the Tarek. Normally, you have a little bit of trouble with Dazzle because you can't really get into range, but having it with the Nyla that did have that slipstream to dash in, it just sets it up so nicely that it's really hard for them to avoid, and especially against such an immobile team of things like Aphelios and the Zillion. Yes, you have the speed up, but no dashes to get away. It made it really difficult to play against, and obviously the Cosmic Radiance as well. Notoriously a great ultimate, 2.5 seconds of invulnerability, yes, please. Plus the fact they can get the apotheosis to bring the team fight to them. Man, what more could you want?
It was the
Honestly,
perfect combo, yes, Alari.
yeah.
Tell me.
Like, I'm having again the flashbacks from the relegations when we saw natives playing against M&M, and we saw some Tari games there as well. And the first one was quite unfortunate. The next ones were good, but this is just proving the point that yes, Tariq is a really good champion, but it all depends on who you're pairing him with because you need something that's going to be able to utilize both the stun and the ultimate. You need something that wants to be jumping in, something that wants to go for the risky plays. And here, that's why I was such a big fan of what Buster 5 have managed to draft in this game because this was just the perfect combination, exactly what Tariq wants and needs.
I want to tackle best of five one more time, Solari, and
Mhm.
this one is on you. The fact that when they come up today, they were a question mark. Nobody knew what was
Yep.
going to happen with this team, but they showed some signs of life versus Natives. Now they showed a lot of life versus Varnier, and the other team they have to face it's Domino. What are you expecting of this specific team? You think they can go through the maps, through the groups?
You know exactly what I expect. I expect a bloodbath and nothing else.
There you go. I know that's the only word you have with me when you are working together. So let's move on to the next one. Natives versus Domino Esports. We've seen them collide more than once. The champion select is about to hit. So I want to get some perspectives or some predictions from you both. Like quick one, J Real. What do you expect from
Well, I'm expecting Natives, man. Obviously, Natives
this?
in the regular season, popping off, looking strong. Plus, the fact that they still look in form from when they got promoted. Natives all the way.
What about you, Zalati?
Honestly, natives does look like a horse that you want to have your bets on.
Okay. Seems like everybody's going for the natives boat. Everybody's chiming in on that one. But for you guys back at home, we are doing Group D on this broadcast. So be sure to also take a peek at all the other streams that are currently online showcasing every single group from this Aurora Cup. We have a lot of casters, a lot of hosts that are doing their best, and they're really, really good as well. They're going to be joining us for the NLC broadcast as well throughout this tournament. So be sure to tune in and be sure what is happening because we have a lot of teams showcasing themselves, new players, new rosters, and even closed qualifier teams joining into this one as we join the champion select. Draven has been removed from the map, and I understand why. What else can we expect, Solari? Because I know there's a lot of bands we should be hoping for. No Shivana, though.
Graves. Oh, come on, man. Okay, maybe Seraphin Band. Maybe Seraphin Band because that's the one that is pretty obvious one. Graves definitely needs to be removed when you're playing against natives because whenever he's allowed, you know exactly what's going to happen. On the top lane is going to be Havoc. Maokai, another one, we're discussing it throughout all the games today. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he absolutely has to be removed with all the changes introduced to him. He's just way too much.
Yeah, and it looked really good in that last game as well. The Maokai, definitely someone you have to watch out for. I love the respect shown from Domino here to take away the Gragas. Lundorf, we got to see
Oh
him
my
play it once
god!
in the
The man
in
with
the
the
promotion.
button!
It's too much. It's just too much, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Akali is removed as well. Karthus is going to join him on the bench. We're just waiting for the last one. Aatrox is still available. Lundorf was shining with that pick. It is
Oh,
first pickable. You don't even question it.
Yes. When you have Atrix and you're on the blue side and you're a natives, you know exactly what's going to happen. Now, what is going to be thrown against him? Because I am still stuck with the thing that there is no thing that can go to the top lane and just be there against Atrix and kill him. Tell me, is
There
it
are two
Pantheon?
counters. No. Actually, it's one. It's really hard. It's really hard. It's one of the hardest matchups for Pantheon because Aatrox supposedly doesn't have a counter. I was looking into a one-trick pony and he said there's only two counters for Aatrox, reliable counters. First one is not usable on the competitive matchup, which is Kalista. Aatrox
okay.
doesn't win versus Kalista because you always juke him non-stop.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, Irelia, because you do have sustain. You can get close, you can get away, you can juke the Aatrox, but you need to have fingers with Irelia to be able to do that. While an
Yeah.
Aatrox, it's quite easier to pile that one. They're going to throw in the Jax, which is also an interesting one as well. So it should be doable. There she is.
Oh, okay. Seraphine being locked. I will say, you know what I really respect about this draft so far? Domino are clearly showing that they've played natives before because all of those bans, they're not specific to the patch right now. They're very specific to this team. I'm also loving this Seraphine. We've seen natives play this themselves. They can play ADC, they can play support. It's a lot of flexibility on this pick.
Yeah, we have seen Seraphine being paired with Rakan, I believe, on the bot lane, which was a pretty successful combination. I also think there was this Swain being thrown at there at some moment, but my memory might be playing with me here today. Now we're just going through the picks for Snilla, and we're just going through all the things that he is good at, honestly, and I feel like they will stop at Viego because he was maining Viego through the relegations, and it was the champion for him, except when there was that Kathas thrown in, of course.
Jay Real, look into the draft from Native so far. You have Lundorf with Aatrox. You also have the Seta that could go into mid or even support or even AD carry if you're unlucky. And then you have the King as well. This is from front to back composition non-stop, and it seems like on the other side they want to engage. So it seems like natives are already out drafting Domino. Do you agree with that one?
Yeah, I think that there is a lot of still counterplay from Domino. There is still a lot of picks that could be drafted that will really change the game. But so far, it's looking pretty good from Natives. They got what people would consider the strongest top laner at the moment on the patch. They have that Viego that we know can snowball. And considering how Snille likes to play, he likes to give his team that carry potential. He can definitely perform on this pick. And obviously, Seraphine, as you said, giving so much flexibility to the draft where we've seen Natives pick it in multiple slots. It really does open up the map. But Silas being picked here is absolutely huge. Stealing those ultimates away is a game changer.
Yeah, and honestly, this is the very good pick right now because it's limiting the last two options for natives so big. And with this Cassiopeia ban already, you're removing one of the three things that feels so good against Silas on the mid lane. Still, things like Vex, or if you want to go completely bonkers, Rise are available for you for natives to go for. But I wonder what that last ban from Domino is going to be. Is it something that are they thinking? No, okay, LeBlanc. That's completely different approach from what I was thinking about.
And you also have the feeling that Domino are aware that this Seraphine is not going into the mid lane because they're focusing so hard on those mid champions. They are aware that Relay has such a big part in this team of natives. Do you think he would be allowed to play with this Seraphine J Real, or do they need Relay on another set of champions?
See, this is the thing about natives that I really loved about watching them in their playoff run. They have so much flexibility. You know, they can do a lot of things. We're seeing this misfortune come through, which obviously is going to work well with that Seraphine ult if Silas does steal that one. We'll see if that is the lock-in. I feel like Relay could play a multitude of different champions. Maybe go for something like a Lucian, go for early AD, trying to get that early lead and just put Silas in the ground. Or they could pick that Seraphine themselves. Or they could maybe go for other control mages that we have seen them play. Maybe even the Yone as well. There's just so much that natives can pick up right now.
Oh, that brawl would be so
Yeah.
good versus the misfortune. But now I'm looking into Domino, Solari. That is screaming me, pick Amumu. If you have Amumu with that team, that would be
Yes.
amazing. And what? Cannon mid.
Yes.
No, Solari, take the stage. Do your thing.
I'm doing my thing. This is the combination of Seraph and Rakan that was working so well for natives on the bot lane because it can start popping off rather early. They will have quite a lot of control and they synergize. They picked her.
She lost it. We've lost
What?
Solari.
Wait, no, hold on. What just happened? What have we just witnessed?
Jana.
Solari,
What?
explain.
It's
What?
she took my breath away, literally. It's my main, and she never gets picked in professional plays, and now she's here. And I'm so happy that I'm gonna cry.
Oh, she's actually queuing up. Solari, you have the Janna now as a support versus what could be a lot of engage or disengage, a lot of rotation as Aatrox is going to the mid versus Silas. Oh, my poor man. The chain should be locked in again because that's not
Oh.
going to be fun for you. Last takes before we jump into game. J Real, what do you expect? Who's going to take it?
I'm a bit surprised by Domino here. I feel like they went for a full go-in comp, then they picked the Janna. Not too big a fan of that personally. I like Nativz comp a lot. I like that they switched up the Aatrox into that mid lane as well, making it hard for Silas to get those early ultimates. Nativz, right now, for me, are winning.
Okay, what about you, Solari? No, think about it. No. You told me Nativz at the beginning of the game, and the other team just picked Janna. Tell me, who's gonna take it?
I hate to say it, but I think it's still Nativz, unfortunately, because that Jana screams to me that right now Domino understand how much strength is going to be flying at them, how much damage they're going to be, and they're taking a little bit more of a defensive approach by taking that support as the last pick. So they understand that it's not just jumping in and winning, it's a little bit about being more cautious about the game. But because there is a Jana pick, my heart just goes there. My heart goes.
So who's gonna take it? Just tell me the name. Who's gonna win? Tell me the name. Nativz? Or
Nativz.
Domino? Nativz is
Nativz.
gonna win. There you go. You betray your own main. I'm not even mad. Don't worry. I'm just extremely disappointed, and I refuse to believe that you actually like Janna. As we toss it to the casters, it is Tom Kick and Duckling, and they have the swag on as well.
I mean, we had to stick with the trend, let's be completely honest. The glasses have been whipped out, the action soon to come as Tom Kick. This is the first time we are ever doing anything on the casting disc together. How do you feel?
I'm really looking forward to this, and we got to start off with some of the bangers here. The draft again, Nativz doing their stuff, flexing things away, having a bit of fun. But then again, they banned Akali, but they forgot about Zero Silas and Snobby One Trick Janna. So I'm a root for Domino. There's a lot of Domino haters. They're all on Nativz train, but I feel like they can take it.
I mean, calling them haters might be a big thing considering looking at it realistically with chances. Nativz are the overwhelming favorite, and I think that is fair to say. As one of the things that we didn't get to touch upon in the draft because we thought it was going to be Ken in mid lane, I mean, Rulle is really showing his flexibility today, something he wasn't traditionally known for in the Danish scene, known for playing a lot of Lucian, known for playing a lot of Twisted Fate, mainly as his two successful picks, but after his Astralis days, that champion pool has expanded 2 games today, Draven mid lane, now Aatrox mid lane as well.
It's been especially spicy for Rilla, but I gotta come with some intel. While we're waiting for a player to reconnect, we gotta get some inside information. And I know Zero, he was on Oslo in 1v1 tournament. And one of his most played champion in that tournament was Aatrox. So he knows that champion, and he's a mid laner, he knows it. And into this matchup, I feel like he's gonna know what's gonna happen. Now, we do know that the Aatrox has Ignite. It's gonna have a little bit more of an edge there, Silas with the TP. But it's gonna be interesting for sure, because Rilla is comfortable into it, but does he know Zero knowledge about Aatrox?
Yeah, but that's the question. I mean, you're talking 1v1 experience here and there. I want to bring up something for Rulle as well, because this is a guy whose competitive career was made in the 1v1 scene back in Red Bull solo queue under the IGN John Slim. That was when he got his initial rise. That is the first appearance we saw of him in any competitive setting, and he was an underdog. No one knew about him, but he made it very far in the Danish qualifiers. Didn't obviously manage to make it to the World Championship, but that is where his professional career actually started, playing in Red Bull solo queue. So, used to playing the 1v1s. I mean, both of these players have experience with the matchup, it seems. Obviously, as it's a Dane versus a Norwegian, we can't help but be a little bit swung towards one side here on the casting desk, considering we're split, but I think this game is going to be a banger.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to have the good back and forth with the mid laners for sure. But interesting thing again, Snobby, I think a lot of people are forgetting, like, he has played his champion for such a long time. Like, he's played a lot of games on Janna. So I'm really looking forward to the bot lane here if they can start getting some leads through the Janna bot lane.
Yeah, and talk to me a little bit more about this bot lane area, because when I look at it on the side of Nativz, I obviously noticed the Seraphine. Yoppa throughout the year has been playing enchanters here and there, but when they have found their most success was not on the enchanters. It was on the normal AD carries where Yoppa was in a carry position. So how do you think this matchup is gonna go with Yoppa being on the enchanter?
I feel like in the laning phase, they have a lot of burst potential. You have the setup with the Rakan and easy follow-up for Seraphine, so there's a lot to take onto that. Now, onto the other side though, it's about Snobby stopping that initial engage. If Snobby's tornadoes are on point, stopping the Rakan engages, then Misfortune Jana can quickly turn it around. So I feel like it's going to be a skill matchup between the supports and who can actually time things the best.
So timing is what you're saying, and we talked a little bit about Denmark versus Norway before. We can elaborate that depending on what happens with this. Looks to just be some intel exchange with wards being placed, but zooming back to the point, obviously Domino. I think that point is pretty simple, Tomkick, a Norwegian organization, but I want to spend more time on Nativz because while you might see them represent an Irish flag, it is an organization with deep ties to the Danish scene. This organization ended up acquiring the spot in the Danish Telia Esports Series Denmark, which was previously known as Demp and the Boys, which was the coach Demp, who has been coaching the team all year, and a couple of Danes alongside some NLC Div 1 players. So Nativz bought their spot in the Danish scene. They had a pretty good success. They're getting third, almost making it to Telia Masters, and ever since then, I mean, everyone knows what has happened to them because they have been dominating under the Irish banner in NLC Division 2.
Yeah, and then on the other side, Domino, Norwegian organization, been in the esports scene for quite a while. Never been one of the top teams in Norway, but always consistently among the people, around the third, fourth spot. But now in Teleligaen, on to tied first place. And now, with this resurgence, a one change in the jungle, everybody's still the same. Maybe this is the time where Domino starts ramping up. But then again, Nativz with experience, we already see Snille bot there.
Yeah, Clock's already going in, rooted up, stunned, and that is Adriana gone within 2 minutes. That's an early first blood, and Nativz are off the mark.
Yeah, it's really well played by Nativz because they see the tornado being used, and then instantly when Snobby has nothing to stop the engage, Clocks goes in, Snille is then there for the follow-up, and it's a clean start for Nativz.
Fantastic start for them as we turn our attention back to the jungle. So what have they done in the meantime? It's pretty clear that Almost Finn has simply been full clearing, while you have to respect 2 axes down on the bot lane. Didn't expect him to have the damage to really hurt Clocks, but just forced him to use a summoner. Very big there is the flash. Now on a 5-minute cooldown. Eyes back on the junglers though, as an invade is coming through here. Snille trying to get this, but he's level 2 versus level 3. Yes, he's got an assist, but he hasn't spent the goal. He's in big trouble as we're keeping our eyes on a mid lane fight as well. That won't lead to anything else other than a short trade. Snille unable to secure his own blue buff here.
It's really smart by Omolfin. You see the teams on both sides just executing on the mistakes. Now Viego has used a lot of time on bot side, needs to run all the way to his top side to be able to get his camps. But then Omolfin, who has been farming, gets level 3 early on the camp, gets to fight it and takes an advantage in the jungle.
Oh, you
mid
mentioned
lane!
Zero knows how to play this matchup, and you can certainly see there Duke's out on the third charge of the Q. In the end, able to win it heavily. Rulle now on the back foot in this matchup as he will try and pick up some experience. Down on level, but needs to be careful. Zero has so much damage built in his kit early on. I mean, that's just a couple hundred HP on Rulle.
Yeah, they see Viego on both sides there. Janna seeing Viego on the Raptors. Maybe thinking about just having backup for Zero going for the diver. Stacking up the wave. You see Trundle behind there. They might actually want to look for this. Wave is close to crashing. Snobby over the wall. Can they actually get this through?
Flash Ignite is available for Rulle, but he has no one around to help him. So he's left alone here, but Omolfin doesn't want to flip it, goes back, knows there's a drop that he could potentially steal. Rulle though could look for this third charge. Flash Q is available with the Ignite! Oh, that's a ward of dreams as Rulle finds the solo kill.
Oh, that's so clean by him stacking up, has the ward. Zero has no clue that is on the vision, just gets the third Q onto with the Ignite. It's clean played by Rulle, getting the second kill of the game.
I mean, guess Denmark's better than all. We can call it already.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with where you're going now. Be careful. I'll give you that one there, but Serino is coming back. He's learning from a mistake, and now it's onto the top lane.
Exactly. Lundorf already forced the flash, but still locked up, taken down. As the revenge came through there for Norway instantly. Clocks now trying to get something back. One more auto would do it, but he's not in range. And another jump is available. That's the highway to heaven there for Spooder, who manages to survive.
Oh, he's still trying to chase. Ignite is coming over for Clocks, but it looks like he's actually out. Chasing so far, hitting the cube, but it's not enough. And that was clear. Now onto the mid lane again. It's action overall.
I mean, they won't revenge. I think that's pretty clear. 1v3, Rulle. Not much he can do with that, let's be honest. Taken down by Zero. Good rotation from Domino.
This is so fun starting. There's just action on all fronts. They want to be fist fighting here. Now Snobby, he almost hasn't been bot lane at all. We're talking about the matchup of how you want to juggle back and forth with the timing. But support's not being in lane. Okay, Seraphine, Miss Fortune, we're just chilling in bot lane farming.
You know what this reminds me of, Tonti? It reminds me of, you know, the roaming top Jenna we had a couple years ago, where Jenna just bought the coin and then ran around roaming all the time. Snappy has been all across the map. And, I mean, in the bot lane, that's just refocus on what happened here. Nothing. That's the case. Nothing really went down there. They've both just been CSing, so both supports really rotating here in the early game.
And we're just snapping back into the mid lane again. Want to help Sarah getting the crash on the wave. Really can actually hold a freeze area if he wants, but I don't know. Supports just hate bot lane at this time. Both AD carries just farming, chilling up, pretty even overall. Seraphine with a small lead. Yopa doing a good job at that point. Also having the teleport, so gonna have advantages on the waves.
And I want to kind of talk a bit more about Snap here, because what I just realized, you mentioned, right, he wanted to come in to help with the crash, but wasn't really able to get it as Rulle could build up the freeze. Does that then become a negative for Domino because Sarah is losing some XP, or is it negligible in the sense that it doesn't really matter?
It's a small of a negative, because you also see, oh, wait on, maybe have some action on the bot lane first? Or
Flash
top lane?
available. Lonov, though, doesn't have the flash pillar available. Slicing Maelstrom comes through, but has to buy a lot of space and will, so he's out. Snappy now looking to rotate towards the mid lane. Clux is here, a potential trade, but no one commits further.
But yeah, to get back onto the point that you mentioned, it's true, because you already see Zero being a level behind, and also farm-wise, he's pretty behind. Now they're looking at Snobby.
Yeah, flash available and will be able to use it. Rulle, though, could look for more. Snappy, very squishy with only being level 4, but able to get out. That means flash used there, someone I explained it, but Snidder also used his own flash. Now Rulle has a long way back to mid lane.
Now these guys, they don't want to give us time to talk at all. They're just fist fighting all across the map. Like, the dragon hasn't even been touched, it's all about skirmishing. But I want to try to finish it up as we see Snobby walking up onto Snille. We're not allowed to...
Oh, you're never really gonna be able to finish your point as Snille will probably have time to listen from the grave as he's gone. Very nice engage, good hijack away from the side of Zero. As another exchange will follow in the top lane, nothing will be committed on though. But this game is delivering constant front to back action as we now see Finn as well, taking away the red buff of Nativz.
Yeah, I'll try to get another point onto what we tried to talk about, because the thing with the XP and stuff is that Zero is pretty behind. But now getting also kill helps him out. What we also saw with the lane was really actually not freezing it, starting to slow push towards Zero again, so he gets some stuff back. But then again, he's already 10 farm behind, but the kills are helping it out, so it's equalizing a lot. But then again, it's just fighting constantly. Snobby, you see, still on the mid lane, taking a lot of XP, so I'm wondering actually how far away it is from 8 compared to 0, just getting 7.
Zooming back out, let's remember the map state as Aurora will be cancelled, but surely no fight will be happening here. Herald has now spawned. It's been 2 minutes pretty much of constant fighting, so we haven't even been able to talk about the objectives in that sense. But Snille notices it's up, realizes that Finn has just been seen on the bot side taking away a red buff, so we'll start up that Herald.
It's a good objective. You see the fist fighting all the time, so when people are dead, it's the best option, but then fighting a top lane.
I mean, London, he's just looking for the solo bolo. A couple more autos will do it, and that's a lone doggy diff.
There was just nothing you could do. They're just getting run down by the cannon, and it's over. But yeah, onto the point of Herald, it's taken down. Finn going for the cross map, getting the Drake. But as I said, when it's constantly fighting like this, when people are dead on the map, that's the best spot for using the Herald. So it's easy for Nativz, if they get more kills like this, to be able to open up the map with Herald after good fights.
And this game, man, I don't know, 9 minutes in. It might have, I mean, when I say it like this, only delivered 6 kills, I'm saying it because it could have been around the 10-12 mark, even considering how low some people have been, but constant action, pressure, both teams wanting to do stuff in the early game. And if we think back to the first game we saw of the day when Nativz plays up against Balsat 5, they played slowly. I think it was 11-12 minutes, then they pulled the trigger, got a first button, from that a big lead, but this is a big flip, and it's showing Nativz able to play more styles.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we can see some things reoccurring now. They have the Herald. What happened in the first game was fight around mid lane, diving with the Herald onto the mid lane. So now getting close to the mark and see Lille chasing onto Omelfin. A lot of people around the mid lane. We're just gonna see more fights now. Yoppa is even mid lane.
The pressure here, as you say, Yoppa has even moved up. That's a big thing when the AD carries finally start to relieve themselves of their farming duties down there. Still though, no kills coming out. These players are simply putting every single penny they can in the pressure basket and trying to push every chance they have of getting a lead. And you can see it in the goal lead as well. Only 400, 500 separate these two teams.
At this point, things have actually started to calm down a little bit. It's quite interesting. You see, they want to try to get onto the good map, but then onto mid lane, Clocks missing.
Yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that, missing, and now he will have to walk out as Omelfin could look for something. Zero stole the world ender, but just happy to survive another day. As the Scuttle might now become the point of interest. Omelfin fighting up against Nile in the extended fight. Nile has good damage, but his resistances are being taken away, making him even squishier, but both miss. As the Heartbreaker goes nowhere near Omelfin. Forced to flash away as Spuda now takes more damage up in the top side. Flash, slicing Maelstrom. One more tick off it. It's all that's needed. An auto attack. And that's a summoner Ari. Another solo bowl for Lundoggy Dog.
He's just keep on getting the kills on top lane. Spooder is not having the game of his life. He's just getting solo bolo twice now already, and looks like they want to be looking for the crash on top and just taking reset. But then Snobby again, who cares about bot lane? Snobby's here to help top lane even. The supports are just having a blast running around with the teammates.
I can't believe what I'm watching, man. I wasn't expecting this high of a tempo game as Lundorf cancels his recall. TP in now from Spooder up towards the top side to keep the pressure up. The spot lane though, just a reminder what has been happening here. Well, there's been farming. You can see it in the almost 10 CS per minute. And you realize how much action has happened when you look to the other parts of the map, because none of them are really getting anywhere near the 10 CS per minute mark. And keeping that talk up, we're looking at the top lane now. Omelfin, no flash, but pillar available.
Yeah, I think it's really crucial to be looking to but then again, I'll try to pull with someone fighting all the time.
Yeah, Omelfin. I mean, he's got a good rotation from the side of Nativz. So that'll be another field of ice placed down. They can now look to push in. Herald as well, running down soon. Same with the plate, so has to use it here. That's 2-3 plates maybe for Lundorf, as it depends on the engage potential from Domino. But they won't go for it. They don't want the Domino bricks to start falling and the lead to start getting bigger for the side of Nativz, as the Herald will charge, get the plates, and get out.
But you at least see Domino on the right ID. They are on the top side. They're expecting Snille to be playing around the top side, wanting to use the Herald before the 14-minute mark. But then again, they're just too far off, and the backup from Clocks being there in the moment, getting caught out, and then they get to utilize the Herald. So they're getting a lot of gold value at the point. Not too much of a lead, but it's like 1k. It's pretty good overall. You're thinking it's been a bloody game. It hasn't been too bloody of a game. It's more of skirmishes always happening. We have 8 kills overall. But I'm expecting things to come around Drake soon.
And I want to keep my eyes on Snappy. He's almost more interesting to look at than Omelfin, because normally I like to keep my eyes on the junglers, taking the temperature on them. Where are they going? What's their plan? But Snappy is the one with the plan here. He was looking for something topside. In the end, got some vision. Ended up being happy to return. And now on the top side, though, Spooder could be in trouble. Slicing Maelstrom, good damage from Lundorf. Spooder has the jump, and that should be his way out to safety. Heartbreaker and Flash available from Snille, who might want to chase this, continuing to walk towards the Crocs. Snappy wanted to rotate up, but realized, no, I'm just going to rotate back to bot lane. He's around the map as a race call. Call him Lightning McQueen as another exchange breakout. Clock takes a bit of damage, but able to jump out with the battle dance. Another charge available, won't need to use it.
Because the interesting thing here, though, is that since Snille is on top side, Domino is starting to put up control and vision around the Drake. 30 seconds already, so Diego is gonna be late. Omelfin stepping up for the red buff, so it's interesting if Domino can keep the control there, or if Nativz are able to take back the control.
Oh, cancel the engage, but there's always a round 2 with Nativz as they go in. They isolate 2 actions, but he takes down Clocks. Rulle has to get over now if he wants to do something. World Ender from the backside has to be the game changer, as Nativz are being routed at the moment, thanks to Omelfin forcing 2 men away, but Snappy gets slapped down, and Omelfin unable to take down anyone. Gets hit by the Spectrum. More now has to run Lundorf with the TP as well. And Spooder can join. He used the top lane before, remember, so the pressure Domino had on the Drake evaporates.
It's not even about taking control over the objective, it's about taking control and just getting rid of the people having control. We don't care about taking the control around the objective. Natives are just fist fighting over and getting rid of the players in the way of the Drake.
And what can Domino get on the backside of this? Will Omulfin fled to the top side where he will find refuge at the Herald Pit, able to take that one. Unless Lundorf finds a 1v2, and he might be good, but I doubt he will go for that, as Nativz will look to pick up a first Drake of the game for them, as the Mountain Drake will be the second Drake of the game.
And now this stalls out a lot of time for Nativz. Now if this second Drake would have gone over to Domino, it gives them a lot of room to play for a potential soul win condition. Now you see the one spawning is actually Hextech, and that's a really strong soul overall. So if you start managing to stack this up, the power levels and the stats you get into the team fights, then transition a lot, and it makes it a lot harder to win fights with these kind of buffs.
Very strong, the most killed Drake at World so far. As well, so has had good RNG with it, you could say, recently in terms of spawn rate, something that both teams will be happy to see. I don't think Akinen will complain about even more lightning being added to his arsenal. As Nativz have now started to rotate their priorities, that means Yoppa has moved into the mid lane. Same goes for Domino's with 2 X's meeting there. Mid laners now meeting on the bot side.
And we're now switching the goals of what we want to do with objectives. So Domino being able to pick up the Herald, they want to be able to look for the skirmishes to be able to open up the map more. They haven't taken a single tower yet, so it's pretty close quarters. They are pretty happy with that kind of a state, but it's important to get gold back up to be able to turn fights around, to be able to match Nativz in these kind of skirmishes.
Clocks could be looking for something here, I think that's fair to say. We're seeing Lundorf as well. Flash, slicing Maelstrom available. This could be disaster for Domino as the AD carry gets locked up. It's a very good Monsoon! But that's an even better catch with the Encore on 2. And that's just Domino being evaporated in the mid lane.
Nativz are just so good at this mid lane tower dice. It happened in game 1, happening in game 2 now also. They're just so coordinated about it, setting it up really well, and just colliding onto the Domino members. And with this, they can just keep on pushing, taking control over the top side. It's really hard for Domino to play.
Not even satisfied with just 2, wants to look for more at the very least. Putting pressure on Domino even further as Runa pushed in the bot side. Forcing Zero to rotate, he will lose yet. Another bit of XP, another bit of gold. As Nativz back off happily, taking that mid lane tier 1.
I see some skirmishing around objectives. They did manage to pick up some camps. Are happy with just leave the area, reset, use the gold you have now, and then start setting up for the objectives again. Now, Baron is the first objective that's gonna spawn, but they don't really have Baron taking power at this level, so it's more about setting up for the Drake here. Now, Domino, really smart, utilizing the tempo they have since Nativz is resetting, getting usage of the Herald, trying to get a second charge, so you might be able to see some more skirmishes on both sides, or if Domino just concedes.
And they is sending 3 men down to protect. Obviously, Lundorf heading up towards the top side to match Buda. Obviously, the AD carries will yet again do what they're best at, CSing in the mid lane after 14 minutes, and successful one for them, as they will be able to clear their waste, of course. In terms of neutral objective, we're still a couple more minutes away, and I think we gotta start talking about what will be happening when we hit that 20-minute mark time kick, because in 2 minutes from now, there will be a Mountain Drake to play for. Rather, it's actually the Hextech Drake. The graphic is just wrong, thanks to the Esports timers, and a Baron as well. So 2 neutral objectives up at once. How do you think the teams will be handling this situation?
Yeah, I think at this point it's really hard to look for cross maps, especially for Domino, who is a little bit behind. You see 3,000 gold behind. It's not really easy for them to take these skirmishes. So for Nativ's part, they want to be forcing Domino into hard positions. They want to have prior lanes and then transition over to the Drakes. Because the other thing is, like, since Domino can't really force some fights, it's really bad for them to take the flip. They want to be looking for towers on the side. Okay, can we look for something on top side? Which we see them actually playing for now, setting up for getting instead. Now really, on the other hand, is getting the bot tower already, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade at least. But it looks like Nativz is just getting more control out of their bot side, and are getting in more value when the Drake spawns also.
And Domino will continue to put pressure on the turrets as they will trade 1-for-1, actually 1-for-2 as I remember correctly. The tier 1 turret down in bot lane fell just before TP down to the mid lane. Yoppa might have to be a little bit careful. 3 versus 1, the pings are coming in, that help is on its way, but the help is being isolated in a 1v2, slicing Maelstrom popped, and that's a Lundorf gone. He's just assassinated Yoppa between 2 turrets, has to flash away. A bit over-eagerness here from Nativz, believing they could defend this tier 1 in the mid lane.
This is so huge for Domino. They gain so much tempo with this. A shutdown, a mid tower, and by this they actually move on to the top side, which is not what I expected. I would assume they want to reset and then fully take control of bot side. I don't think they have the power to actually take the Baron. And now we see Nativz taking mid control, dragon control, first thing they want to do. So I'm wondering if Domino is going to be able to retake with the gold they have, and if they're actually strong enough to take fights.
Turret in fact slowly starting to come in for carries depending on how well they are doing in the game. Lundorf really notably on the side of Nativz hitting that spike, while only 2X's has hit that on the side of Domino. We've hit the 20-minute mark, that means 2 objectives now on the map, and that's not a time where you want to see a jungler get caught out, almost then gone. Let's see if Nativz will look for more there. The very least running towards the top side. Could be a Baron, but there is on the cards.
And this is, you see what happens when you look to take the top side control instead of Drake, which is the coming objective. So Domino is not respecting Nativz already being around there, taking control. So they're just getting cheesed out through the bush. So it's good tempo usage of Nativz. Domino not respecting, so they need to get more creative, respect the timers, and then they might be able to take fights. But at this moment, Nativz in a comfortable position, getting the second Drake, and comfortably ahead with a 3k gold lead.
They didn't want to flip for the Baron, so went for the safer option instead. Very good pick for them, and they were able to take something from it. Now though, could they look for more? 2X has been focused on pushing in the top side. That leaves him at the moment pretty vulnerable alongside his support. Luckily for him though, Misfortune, a very fast AD carry when you're anything about.
Yeah, at this point you see the power spikes. You're talking about Misfortune being fast on the rotations. It's gonna be interesting to see when we actually get Misfortune to dish out her damage into the team fights with her ultimate. Haven't really been able to see her in the fights. Now Yoppa, on the other hand, the healing has been good providing, and the ult is really easy for them to set up fights and continue to engage with the team comp that I have. So now we see, again, focus onto the top side. Baron is potentially the next thing on the menu if you can find a really good fight. So now they want to look at Lille maybe.
Yeah, really? In a 1v3, he's dead and he's strong, but is he strong enough to do that? He will lose a lot of resistances with the subjugate as well. I can't believe the fact that it's him scaring them away with the World Ender. Obviously a rotation from Nativz has to be mentioned. Was coming up, really. Clocks and Snille who are making their way up. So now Zero might be the one caught out. His jungler and supporters left, and he's just in no man's land. A World Ender won't really be saving you. Good time bought though. TP's coming in. Domino want to make this a 5v5, and it's one they want to win. Scooter jumps in, but instantly starts jumping out. They're missing important cooldowns. Hijack, subjugate, already used. As Domino, they want the fight, but they can't take it.
This is the skirmishing again. It's the Mexican standoff. We want to look, but we can't really find the specific angle. But now Nativz are forcing. We want this fight. We want to look on you guys. So forcing Domino around the bound. This could be a crucial fight. All the members in position. We see Sarah on the backline side, Faktis.
Yeah, he was looking for the flank, but still no hijack, no ultimates to be stolen, and now he will be run down as he tries to find his way out. He will almost been forced to flash early on to get out to safety. There's 2 flashes going. Spooder also used his, so important cooldowns are being burned. And what did it cost? Well, for Nativz, only an on-cost. They will continue to look for more. They're not running down Zero, slicing Maelstrom available, but it's not even needed. Hijack coming through, but that will only be used in the grave as Wille has popped yet another World Ender. And he wants to end this game definitively, but it's not quite over as he can't find more.
Nativz are just playing the tempo so well and so correctly at this point, forcing Domino into bad positions. Now they try to be creative, finding the flank with Zero, but they're not capitalizing fast enough. So the Nativz have the turn, find the pick. Now starting the Baron though. Trundle, still alive, does not have flash, does have smite. Is it actually possible for them to come in? Misfortune ult is huge, and they move in.
Yeah, good bullet time. Subjugate makes you tanky, but it's a 3-man charm, and the slicing Maelstrom is there. It's like watching Smep as they melt. It is Domino who are gone. They just get deleted. That's 4-man gone, bound to fall as well into the hands of Nativz.
Nativz just showing why they are the one qualifying for First Division, showing why they have so good control, and their team fighting being so on point, getting the Baron buff, getting almost a clean ace except for Zero coming up again after getting picked off. But now it's on to them to just keep the lead going, throwing the punches and taking control over the map.
The patience, the decision, everything is working out for Nativz. You mentioned it, showing why they are qualified for Division 1. And we have to remember, from Division 2, it is not easy to go up to Division 1. You first of all have to gather enough championship points throughout a whole year to be the top 2 team definitively throughout a season, not a season, sorry, a whole year in the NLC Division 2. Then you have to beat NLC Div 1 teams in best of 5s. There is no easy way of getting into NLC Division 1. You have to earn it through Division 2, and Nativz have done just that. And it feels so good to just watch this team play, because after a year, they are all reading the same fairy tale.
Yeah, we're now expecting, okay, Nativz have qualified for first division, and that was the kind of expectation, that's it for this year. But now we're getting this tournament, or Aurora Cup, where Nativz are able to showcase themselves against better teams when they get out of this group, because clearly they're the favorites, are really showing up, and now Zero is the one getting caught in the mid lane.
Yeah, good healing initially. The World Ender as well goes golden with the stopwatch to buy the time. But there is not enough time you can buy, and not a fight you can win. Nativz cleanly take 3.
Here you see they're just taking full control now. Domino not respecting on the map. Nativz showing why they are the #1 team in this group and want to keep on extending this lead. They are really dominating this game. Was a sloppy start, but at one point they just kept on winning. They kept on doing it and are looking to actually end the game here.
They want to go for 26 minutes in. Might be a bit too much, but then again, 15 seconds on the main carry Spooder. Tanky enough though to buy some time. Slicing Maelstrom though still available, and that means he's not tanky at all actually, as he will not fall down, able to jump away, but the Nexus can't jump. It can't hide from Nativz, as they will take down Domino one last time, and they will end the game in less than 27 minutes.
That was so well played by Nativz. It was exciting start, it was messy, it was skirmishy, it was everything happening all the time. But then you just see Nativz click and they take control over the fights, they take control over the map, and there's nothing Domino can do with it.
Yeah, pure domination, let's be completely honest. The early game was a bit close with the skirmishes, but once Nativz got a bit of a lead, they clicked, they snowballed, they showed that they have done this throughout a whole year of playing in Division 2. They are a clear cut above the rest of the competition in their group. And let's see what happens next, because Nativz will be going back to back, as they next up will go against Vania, who are still looking for their first win here in the Aurora Cup. See you after the break.